Welcome, Shark fans, to our very first edition of Chumming It Up. I'm Jameson Carter, and we have the luxury today of being joined by Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Performance and Student Athlete Wellness, Steve Orris. Coach Orris, thanks for hopping on today and taking the time.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So, Coach, what we want to do today, sit down, kind of catch up with you, catch up with the state of the program. First of all, over the last few months, how are you and your family been doing?
We've been doing good. I've got three kids, a sixth grader, a third grader, and a kindergarten. So we've been pretty busy with them homeschooling. But as far as work and what my wife and I are doing, we've been able to do everything from home. So it's been a lot of fun, a little challenging, learned a lot of new things, but we're getting to spend a lot of time together as well. So we're trying to make the best of it.
Good to hear. Always a positive. But yeah, so to touch base, things kind of transpired about 2+ months ago. Obviously, wild times. Good to hear things are well with you and the family. But in terms of strength and conditioning, what went through your mind when this all broke? What did you guys kind of do? What was the first step of the process?
Yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, luckily we had a little bit of a preview of what was going to happen. We talked about it. We talked about a plan, but immediately we just started thinking, how are we going to train athletes if we can't have hands-on, if we can't have face-to-face? So my staff, Jake Suvak, Mike Traber, Ryan Smack, and Faith Wilson, we all got together and we just started thinking, what are our student athletes going to miss if they don't have us in a day-to-day? What resource are they going to miss? It's easy to find workouts. You can find workouts on the internet anywhere. The quality is hit or miss sometimes, but you can find workouts. But what we offer that they wouldn't be able to have is more of the nutrition, the supplement counseling, or recommendations. A lot of times they just want to ask us some questions about supplements. If they need to have an alternative workout, there's something that we can do. Also, just the mental health and wellness side of it. So a big part of what we tried to do was just some social connectedness. So we came up with a plan. We each took a day and a subject, and we were able to put out some pretty good content on our Instagram page 6 days a week.
I have noticed that you guys have done a great job. So you touched on the kind of the technology and using your social media. If you could take us through more detailed, Monday through Friday, whether it's with the mental health, whether it's with your workouts, what does your new normal kind of look like now over these last 2 months?
Sure, that's a great question. Actually, the first thing that we did was we just kind of looked around the country, looked around to see what other people were doing, big schools, small school, high schools. There's a lot of great social media stuff that comes out of strength and conditioning. So using the things that we thought people would be missing, we came up with a schedule of Monday was going to be some sort of mobility and recovery, which Mike Traber is really good at that, so we let him do that. Tuesday was kind of an alternative conditioning workout. That could be anything from running up hills to pushing a car or just something fun. So Faith Wilson took that. On Wednesdays, we've had a partnership with the nutrition department, graduate school. So we had the nutrition interns who have been working in our weight room. We had them put out some good nutrition information on those days because it's different. You don't know what kind of food you're going to be able to get. You're not on a regimented schedule. Once you're at home, you kind of get off your schedule. You have to remind yourself to eat 3 meals and 3 snacks. So we wanted to kind of give some tips and some ways that they can do that. On Thursdays, we thought it was important to get some exercise science, some of the theory behind what we do. So Ryan Smack's really good at that, so we let him do that. On Fridays, we wanted to keep some sort of social connectedness. Okay, so that was anything that's going to keep people just connected to each other. So we came up with a Friday challenge, and that could be anything from, can you do a 1-arm push-up? Can you do a pistol squat? Or give us some creative ways that you can add external resistance, because everything that we've been putting out has been body weight, and that's good to stay in shape, and you might even lose weight, but a lot of our student athletes need to gain weight and they want to get stronger. So that was a challenge that we had on Friday, where, what are some creative ways that you can add some external resistance? So we had people responding to our Instagram, holding milk jugs, holding pets, holding cans of paint, pushing a car. So again, the ultimate goal was just to keep some social connectedness. And then on Saturdays, we wanted to make sure that people, mental health wise, were realizing that they're not in this alone, everybody's experiencing this, and it's okay to feel a little down. So we, piped in a lot of articles from some other schools, some professional athletes, just to give people some information that they can read about and maybe feel not so alone.
I want to know how many of those one arm push ups now, or how far can you push cars now that you've had 2 months to work on it?
I felt pretty good about myself. I'm 42 years old, almost 43. I was able to do one single arm push up. And
Okay.
then when I looked at some of the responses, I saw people doing push ups with a clap, 3 in a row. Celine from the volleyball team, she did a one arm push up, and I didn't feel so good about it anymore.
Well, there's always one place to start. You can only go up from there, I guess. But, you look at it, everyone's got kind of had their own resources, like you mentioned, of, what they could eat, what they have available to them at home, whether it's a kettlebell, a jump rope. So, to kind of, I guess, stabilize or make it even across the board, what is one thing you've kind of focused on the most in terms of what the student athlete should be focusing on?
Well, we always want to strengthen from the inside out. So there's really no reason we can't do core work. We can't do stabilization. And then as far as trying to get big and strong, that's where we struggle a little bit. So everybody's able to do body weight workouts. And if you're doing a body weight squat, you can easily double the resistance by doing a single leg. You just went from, squatting 150 pounds to squatting 150 pounds on one leg. So it's easy to add resistance that way. So we mainly just focused on that, trying to keep their core strong, work on stabilization exercises, and then mobility and flexibility. This is a great time where we can start to work on that.
Then what's been the reaction from whether it's coaches or the student athletes in terms of that they've really listened to you guys, they've been in tune with it? What's been the positive or maybe even some negatives you've had in having to battle through this?
Well, we first started with email. And as you know, email is just a one-way communication unless they respond. So we had to get creative to get people to respond. Instagram's a little bit more of a two-way connection. So we really encouraged people to respond. We've always had a lot of followers. We always get a lot of likes. So we hope they're following it. We know it's good information. We know it's quality information that they're getting. And it's really going to come down to them and if they want to do it. And, they've got to take ownership in it because when we do get back to school, we're going to have to hit the ground running.
Then I guess personally or as a team, what do you guys think you've learned the most? Slash, when we do get back, whether it's in July, August, September, who knows when you're in the weight room, do you feel you'll have your student athletes up to speed, or you feel you'll have to play a little bit of catch up, over from these last few months?
So this has been a blessing in disguise because we've learned a lot of new technology. I think we're all pretty fluent in Zoom now. We can share documents, which makes it very easy. It's almost every day we have a meeting with the team, which wouldn't always happen in the summer. In the summertime, we kind of, we give them their space, and that's on purpose. But now I think moving forward, we'll have a lot more face-to-face communication via Zoom or via Instagram, however we want to do it. As far as when they get back, this is a concern because everybody kind of feels like we're losing this time. And I've tried to encourage student athletes and coaches, we're not losing this time, it's just different. So our professional organizations have worked really hard to set some guidelines. We want to make sure that when student athletes do get back on campus, we're still transitioning them slowly, giving their body a chance to adapt, because even if we are doing a lot of body weight workouts, jumping jacks, jump rope, running, whatever it is, it's still very different than getting on a court and running full sprints or getting back in the pool or getting back in the boat. So we want to make sure that our student athletes and our coaches are understanding that it's still going to be a transition before they get back to full speed.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Do you have anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
No, I really appreciate you guys talking with us. I'm really proud of our department, and I appreciate you spotlighting it.
Coach, round one of chumming it up. Appreciate you hopping on. Hope to see you in the office soon.